Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with a crypto update video, including VeVe and OMI, DEVVE, DEFINITY, DACAT, and more. Guys, if you're new, welcome. For not, welcome back. I love you all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon and smashing that super thanks button down below. Recently, I've purchased quite a bit of stuff. I got up to 320 million OMI. I've gotten a little bit more DEFINITY and even more DEVVE, finally up to 100,000 DEVVE, which at all-time highs would be a couple $100,000, but as of right now, it's $30-ish thousand. Why am I stacking a little bit more DEVVE than anything else? Again, we'll go over the other stuff and why it's great. We might stack this one first. We'll start with OMI. OMI, again, the thesis of the company hasn't changed. It's still making money. It's the clear leader in the space. The only things they haven't really done too much of yet is a little bit of music, which they have some things on there. Actually, they have the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle music on there for the drop on Saturday. That's going to be really cool. But aside from that, there's really not too much to write home about. They have Blackpink stuff on there, which they're the biggest girl group in the entire world. But they have their, like collectibles, not really so much their music, which is fine. VeVe, again, clear leader in that space. I see this doing exceedingly well in the bull market. DEFINITY, which they have automated a couple things. Their margins are up. They're doing very well. And despite them having like a $2 million market cap, they're actually making more money than VeVe is currently. I am not sure if they should expect to do that for long, because when the NFT bull market kicks in, VeVe will go from making hundreds of thousands per month to probably millions, if not tens of millions per month. I can't wait for that to happen. I'll keep you all posted on it. Well, Chavez, why did you get more DEVVE today than anything else? Well, there's a couple of reasons. One, because I just haven't put as much into it as anything else. And two, we had Tom Anderson, who's the founder's words on Telegram the other day. I'm about to read them right now. So excuse me if some of these are cut off at some points and there's a little break in it. It's just the way it's formatted. Tom says, hey everyone, I've been reading a bunch of comments on different channels. There's a lot of guessing on lots of things. Normally a pretty high percentage of these guesses are pretty far off, but right now, as people are feeling uneasy with the markets broadly in decline and DEVVE down in price, the percent of incorrect guesses is much higher than even normal in my view. As I'm reading, I'm seeing a number of our long-term supporters doing their thing and trying to reassure people that I really appreciate people's long-term support. I see others who only like to come out at specific times when the token is down. Not sure if they're manipulating or if that's just their personality. What a way to live, either way. I see a bunch of others who are supporters, but are at this point unsure of where we are right now and where we're headed. With all that said, I thought I would give my overall feel of where we are. First off, people aren't focusing on the right things as a general rule. And that's in all of crypto, whether it's DACAT, OMI, DEVVE, etc. As is always the case, up or down, people put too much emphasis on the token price, and token price doesn't reflect the actual growth of the business. When Ray is an important meeting, flying out to Europe on last-minute notice for something that can be very significant for us, the token price doesn't move. On the other hand, with relatively low volume, a relatively large holder decides to sell, and it can adjust the price significantly, but is meaningless to your overall trajectory. You can't read into it too much. And that's what happened the other day. We had someone just basically yeet out, I think, 23,000, and the price went to 25 cents. That took millions off the market cap because, again, low liquidity. And now, granted, as soon as that happened, there were a bunch of buy orders that got filled up. It was literally down there for like four minutes. I wasn't fast enough to buy it. He continues on to say, also, there's lots of guesses on where we are, what's driving things, what's most important, etc. Some are educated guesses based on people's experience, but even these lack of actual details of what's going on, many other guesses are just off the mark completely. I see our progress, and I'm happy with what's going on. I see material progress being made on a significant platform. Week by week, I get updates, and I feel good week by week. I see things that still need to be put in place, but I see realistic paths towards those. As I always point out, all early stage ventures are high risk. That goes hand in hand with potential, but that said, I am excited for the future. Here are the things in contrast that I think people actually should be focusing on. One, the dev ecosystem. The V1 dev ecosystem. It's a platform including lending and exchange is making material progress in the scheme of things that's nearly complete. Two, We've invented a system called contingent transaction sets that uniquely allows any two parties to exchange assets without a middleman and with no settlement risk. That is huge. Does anything else exist out there that does this in this way? The answer is no. This is desperately needed by TradFi as they move into the blockchain space. 3, we have fraud, theft, and loss mechanisms that nobody else has, and they solve problems that are the biggest problems in the space. 4, we have regulatory compliant privacy solutions, globally patented, that are needed by TradFi as they move into the space. Now, one could build an entire business around any one of these 3 inventions. We've put a lot more as well. Throughout and scale put, cost effectiveness, our bailment solution, etc. People should also keep in mind that enterprise development is much slower timescales than crypto folks are used to. And it just is what it is. So here's the bottom line for me. If you fundamentally believe that our contingent transaction sets, fraud and theft loss, privacy solutions are going to be compelling, and that there's a team that can continue to build those into a successful business, then we're a good project to continue to follow. If you're simply trying to time a pop on the DEVVE price in a situation where we're working with large-scale companies, that is pretty tough. Have you ever wanted to trade something with someone or buy or sell something but didn't know who should send their side first? Are you worried about hackers stealing your assets? Are you worried about holding your assets on an exchange? Are you worried about losing your private keys as many people did in the California fires? Do you think big companies are going to need regulatory compliant privacy? Are they going to be worried about hacks like Bybit hack happening to them? These are the problems we solve. And ask yourself if you think these solutions are more important to the massive influx of TradFi moving into the space. And my advice is to keep the main thing in your mind as you evaluate what Dev really is. Dev is all the various things we're working on, including DEVVE, the DevX blockchain, and Public Shard, Dev Digital, and the Dev Exchange. And outside of Dev, for those of you feeling pressure right now with the markets and what they've been doing, keep your chins up. You're still early in a space that has much more growth ahead. TradFi moving into DeFi is significant. Thank you all. So that's a bunch of compelling reasons for me to buy DEVVE. For you guys, I have no idea what y'all should do. That is going to be between you and your Lord, what master you serve. I'm out of water. And your financial advisor, if you have one. Now, for the one point I want to bring up, what he said was, hey, if you have 2 people want to do an OTC deal, we'll get more into that in a second, which side should send first? For me, this is pretty easy because I'm the real Randy Chavez, and if I were to screw anyone in an OTC deal, like, yeah, you send yours first, and then suddenly I disappear and ghost and block the other person, well, my reputation, my channel, and if I ever wanted to work in this space again, I could never do that. It would be destroyed. Really not a good thing to do for like $1 million, right? It's like, that is not worth it. 1, it's the wrong thing to do, and 2, again, not worth it, even if you were inclined to do that. But most people don't have that option. It's like, okay, well, yeah, I don't have that name, so nobody's going to send me anything first. We don't know each other. And that's one of the things that Dev is working on, which is fantastic. It's sorely needed. But speaking of OTC deals, there was a guy that was looking to sell about 1.2 billion OMI the other day on X, and he's like, hey, I sold 100 million OMI, looking to sell the other 1.2. He said throughout 2026, I was like, all right, let's just cut the crap. I go to him, I was like, want to do an OTC deal? Buy them all right now. And he had said, no, he wants to wait until what the big announcement is first. David, the CEO of VeVe, and Akomi had said earlier this year that they would have some type of big announcement. Now, for me, if I were advising the team, I'd be like, okay, I would wait until the NFT bull run is here. So this way, any announcements that you make will pump the price. And that's what I would do. And up until a month ago, it seems like that's what they were doing. And then they announced Street Fighter and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in like the same week. I was like, okay, clearly that's not what they're doing. They are announcing stuff left and right. So yeah, that big announcement could be delayed until the NFT bull runs here, and that could be until next year, like a year from now. Or they could do what they did with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Street Fighter and be like, yeah, we're going to release it now. So that being said, that guy who wants to sell that OMI is not going to do so until that announcement is announced. And that OMI is essentially locked up until we can do that. So I reached out to him before anyone else reached out to me. And I don't know what it was, but as soon as I reached out to him, I had other people be like, "Hey, could we like get like an OMI OTC deal with this guy?" I was like, "I actually just reached out to him," and then somebody else asked me that I don't even know if they knew if this guy was looking to sell. They don't really follow a ton of what's going on like on X or whatever. They just like to buy undervalued things, and in my opinion, OMI's an undervalued thing. And is like, "Hey, can you got anyone looking to sell a billion OMI?" And I was like, "Bro, you are no," because I've asked everyone and nobody is selling. So I go to him and I was like, "Listen, I'm trying, but we don't. There doesn't seem to be anyone that wants to sell, at least in those quantities. There are new sellers all the time because you have people that get a little tired, they chase green candles, they do whatever, but and you have new buyers all the time as well, and they mostly wash each other out. But obviously, the last several years, there's been more sellers than buyers. But there's been multiple times where people have been looking to buy, and because the liquidity, at least on where we can get it in America, is so low, it's just impossible to do, and they wind up losing money because they pump the price, or they decide not to buy and be like, "All right, I can't buy it. There's lack of liquidity here," and they go and buy other stuff. Now, at some point, that's going to change. I think that could be very soon. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm seeing OMI at this point. There's a bunch of whales on the side with dry powder, a decent amount, looking to buy about 1.5 billion, and they could do that over the course of a week or two, slowly on the markets. Not even talking about TWAPing. I'm just talking about like, hey, we're going to go in and try to buy some from this exchange, that exchange. But unfortunately, if you're in America, you can't access most of the exchanges that OMI has. So it gets a little frustrating trying to sit there every like hour and 2,000 here, 1,000 there. It's such low quantities of money because if you do $5,000, pumps the price a bit. So again, insane stuff. I'm always buying DeCat as usual, just because that's my thing. That's about it for today. Just keeping you guys updated on just where I'm seeing crypto these last few days. Why I just decided to buy a little bit more DEVVE than anything else recently. Just so heavy in Definity and VeVe and OMI. It's like DEVVE, and again they have that announcement that should be this. Well, they say Q4. My estimate is going to be mid to late Q4, December, mid to late December. In my armchair CEO guess, based on conjecture, because they only release so much info to the public. But that's what I'm gathering. If again they could announce their big exchange partner tomorrow, and we can go crazy over here. DEVVE I think goes again. OMI I think a 200x from here. Yeah, DEVVE 100x from here is just a $3 billion market cap. That is super low. And these are in blow off tops. I don't expect this anytime soon. I think once that announcement happens, that'd be several dollars. And was that 20x from here? $10 like 30x. And DeCat obviously has ETH pumps, so will DeCat. They're kind of attached together. Anyway, guys, this is just how I see things. Comment down below whatever you want. It's good for the YouTube algorithm. And everyone say bye-bye to Dashi. Bye-bye, Dashi. I love you guys. Bye. Meow, 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 meow.